played out in the press.
Time has expired. Mr. Johnson's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for holding this hearing. You know, learning about the loss of Lois and Lerner's emails and other IRS officials is troubling, and we receive that information with great skepticism. Americans have been waiting for the whole truth, and we hope to get it today. It doesn't sound like we're getting it. It's past time to hold all of those responsible accountable for targeting Americans for their beliefs. Mr. Commissioner, welcome. I have some questions for you. You have argued that the IRS practice of destroying employee emails after 6 months was a cost-cutting measure. In fiscal year 2011, the IRS enacted budget was $12 billion, a high watermark of spending. Can you tell me whether in 2011 the IRS was engaged in a policy of destroying and reusing its backup tapes?
Actually, what happened with the IRS in 2008 when our new IT director came, the retention policy then was only for less than 3 months. In 2008, he increased the retention backup policy to 6 months. It's a disaster recovery system, so if the entire system goes down, you can reconstitute the emails. Those systems actually are usable, and then if there's no disaster, you continue to produce and back up the emails so they're available. I would note, as I did in my testimony, since the start of this investigation, every email has been preserved. Nothing has been lost. Nothing has been destroyed.
Yeah, which tells me that you've got plenty of computer space. You know, I wondered at the time how you could keep track of everybody's IRS requirements when you lose your own. Let me just ask you, didn't the IRS estimate that keeping and storing those tapes would only cost $200,000 annually?
Costs $200,000 annually every year, but it grows. We have trillions now of terabytes, as it's called. We have hundreds, millions of emails stored over 6 months, and the disaster recovery program was that way. It's not, the email system, as I said in my testimony, is not a system of record. The system of record is, in fact, for the Records Act to produce hard copies and file those in the records, so that the IRS has historically only preserved backup tapes for 6 months. We are reviewing all of this. I have told people some months ago, when we get through with this, we need to take a look at what we can do to actually create a more searchable email process. The problem right now is anytime anybody wants a piece of information, we have 90,000 employees. Whatever employees you want, we have to pull their email accounts, we have to pull their hard drives, then we have to take them and load them into a search machine to be able to discover what's in them. That is an antiquated system. I fondly refer to our IT system as a Model T with a very nice GPS system and a sound system and a redone engine, but it's still a Model T.
You know, my constituents and I refuse to accept that in years of record high IRS budgets, and you know, you wouldn't let us refuse to give you information on our tax returns. The IRS destroyed employee emails every 6 months just to save $200,000 annually. I'm far too familiar with the rampant wasteful spending at the IRS during that time. To date, the committee has uncovered wasteful spending from the Star Trek videos to the spending on lavish conferences to an IRS estimated $23.5 million in spending on salary and benefits due to union time and to bonuses going to workers who owe back taxes. Mr. Commissioner, you and I both know the IRS failure to back up employee emails began long before any budget cuts happened to that agency. There's simply no excuse for what happened. I yield.